Hey everybody, welcome to Exotic Car Hacks, and today we are going to go check out the SF90. It has been under the knife at Excel Racing for the last 2-3 days, getting some Novitec suspension thanks to my friends at Wheels Boutique, and then some really exciting wheels. So wheels are really tricky on the SF90 because they're somewhat of an F8 offset slash 488 offset, but it's really not, and it is. So some manufacturers, when they customize wheels for F8s and SF90s, depending on how aggressive they make them or not, they could or couldn't work on the SF90. So in order to kind of decide what I wanted to do with this car, because it was a very different look than what I had previously seen on other Ferraris, and I'm very meticulous and particular about what I want to do with my wheels, so I decided for once that instead of just doing a wheel and building it and waiting 8 weeks only to be happy or disappointed, I would do something a little bit different. I actually really believe that there was a specific style of wheel that would work like arguably really well on the SF90, and I thought that the car had very fine lines, so it needed a thicker spoke wheel. Now RDB in LA did a really good job with Velos coming together and building this black one, which you've seen all over the internet. That car had really thick spokes on the wheels, and it was running a 21-22 combo set, so it looked really good, but something just, I just, first off, I didn't want to copy the exact setup, which I thought was excellent, so props to them for doing that. But I also just, something just didn't hit as much for me anyways from certain angles on the car. I thought the car looked beautiful, but from the front, I've always been a stickler on the front wheel, because usually the front wheel doesn't have that deep concave the rear has. So typically wheel designs look really sick when the 3/4 pictures from the rear are there. They just don't look that good when it comes to either the side profile shot or the front 3/4 profile. So the issue was that I ran into this with an Anarchy wheel on my 600 LT, like, you know, over a couple of years ago, when I did the Retro Series RS1, which I thought was one of the prettiest BBS LM looking wheels on the market, and still I think is, but because of the offset of the 600 LT, the front wheel just looked really weird to me. Like it didn't hit for me, like it just didn't work. And no matter how I looked at it, if it was rolling, it was beautiful. If it was from 3/4 back, beautiful. Side profile, beautiful. But close up, I would see the spoke floating, and the spoke wouldn't hit the exact lip. So it was always creating this really bizarre dynamic where the lip had some kind of space in between, and when I looked at it standing still, if the lip and the color of the wheel, which in this case we had done a white wheel in the center and a polished lip, since there is such a contrast in color, it became really weird, because it didn't give you this idea that it all blended in together, and you could clearly see the space between the spoke and the lip, and that bothered me a lot. Like, I'm very OCD with design, and that really got to me. So one story short is I just got annoyed with the car and I got rid of it. But I wanted to ensure that this time, whatever I was going to do with this car wasn't going to create that effect, because obviously you don't get the same lippage in the front and you get in the rear, and you get a very different dynamic once you look at the overall wheel picture in certain angles. So I think that a beautiful wheel looks perfect from all angles, and both the front and the back have to be equally stunning, which was why, if you saw my Vanquish, like, I think this is one of the best wheel setups in the game, period, on anything. It's just a flawless wheel execution, and it's just beautiful. From the offset to the design to the color, it just works seamlessly. So to build a wheel is a little bit harder than just saying, hey, I'm just going to get a cool wheel and it's going to work. You have to really look into, from one, color design, you know, lip and spokes, and then you also have to look at fitment, which plays a significant role, engineering, which plays the concavity, and then you also have to look at basically the manufacturer, because wheel manufacturers do matter. Like, designs matter. A lot of times wheel manufacturers don't pay attention to design. They try to basically use the wrong spokes on the wrong lips, and it creates a really different dynamic and bizarre look. It doesn't give you that perfect holy shit look, you know? And so I wanted to do something different with the SF90. I wanted a strong spoke and I wanted a good lip. So I found a 488 wheel literally sitting, that's been around, that was in my warehouse of previous wheels from cars that really looked good. Like, and I was like, let me test fit it and see if it even fits, because it was a 21-22, tire sizes were good, tires were almost brand new on it, and I was like, let me just see if it'll fit and if it'll look okay with this. So I was able to actually test fit them, and during the test fit I thought to myself, I was like, holy shit, that looks really good. So I got this idea from a design standpoint to do basically a lip, but also do a double spoke, but in a manner where the spokes are actually really thick. So I wanted a thick spoke. I thought that was important for this car. So we're gonna go check out today my SF90 test fitted on these beautiful wheels, and they actually work. So it's been lowered now. It's not completely slammed. What you're gonna see right now is the test fit slam before we bring it all the way down to where it should be. But as of now, what we're looking at really is, were these wheels a good idea, and how is it gonna all look when said and done. So let's go and check that out right now. We're pulling up to Excel Racing here in a second. We're gonna take a look at that car and see what Rob's done to the car, and from there we can decide, do we love it, do we not? And I definitely want to hear about it in the comments, so let me know what you think, because there's still a little bit of work to be done. So this is not something that's going to be like, hey, whoop, right here, you're seeing it is done and I'm driving out. So let's go check it out together right now. Go in real quick, check out this cool SF90 and see how it came out. How does it look? How does the design look? What do you think? It's got to go lower. Yeah, way lower.
The rear's got to come down about a 1/16 of an inch. The front's got to come down like just over half.
What kind of spacers we using now?
The rear is a 20, I believe.
Oh wow, that much?
Yeah, it's either the 50 or the 20, and the front's a 20.
But that much on it, because we thought we were going to go 5 and 10. Remember? Like.
Yeah, that was when it was up in the air.
Right. Now that it's down, right? Yeah, it goes different.
So. Look at it. That's as flush as you're gonna ever get the rear.
You don't think this is gonna hit? Like it's not. Meaning once it goes in, you don't think?
It's gonna pull in.
Oh, it's gonna pull in. Okay, all right.
A little bit further, you'll be fine. The rear's perfect. You just gotta come down a touch. The rear just needs to come down about that much.
Because you know sometimes when the tire sticks up or it's too like squarish.
The tire rolls. The suspension travels. It travels this way.
Right, but what I'm saying is it travels inwards. So it, like, because it's got rear wheel steering too. Remember? Yeah, it's just fun. I mean, the design looks really good.
It looks perfect.
The design looks really good. Yeah, the design looks really good. Yeah, it looks really good. I mean, here on this side, you can see here clearly, look at what the car was lowered on factory wheels with no spacers. And then, which was a really good wheel design to begin with, but then on this side, we have a much more insane kind of like, fuck you version of the car. I mean, I really like the black look. I think the black look is like, it's a good look for this car. It makes it much more sinister, brings it out a lot more.
It needed to be lowered, best.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, I think no matter what. Yeah.
It does have to come out. Before I did that, I wanted to make sure.
Yeah, like we talked about, because that was such a perfect factory height for the factory wheels.
That's about as flush as you're ever going to be able to make it without looking stupid.
I mean, as long as you don't think it'll hit. Nope. Like that was my only concern, was putting a wheel that doesn't fit with a offset when you're not exact, you know, and if it hits the liner. I mean, it looks beautiful. It's a great. Yeah, it's a great design.
It's got to come down a little bit.
So. Okay, cool. I mean, beautiful. I think I just didn't expect it to come out this good.
On the front wheel, we got to get an outer barrel too.
It's bent? How bent?
Pretty bent.
Oh, okay.
So.
Oh, that's fucked up.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on the car. I'm going to lower the front. I'm going to put it on the car, so it's going to leave like this. And when the outer barrel comes, I'm going to put the inners and outer together, and then I can bolt the face to it later. So it can cure together, and then we bolt the face to it. Won't take long. But
right.
you're not going to be happy with it.
So, well, what's the point? Why not just take the wheels off and put the factory?
Okay, I can leave factories on if you want to do it
just
that way.
factory. I mean, how long is it going to take to get a barrel? Like with Christmas, is it like probably a month, 2 months?
Yeah.
We don't know.
No idea.
Yeah, we don't know, right?
So
like,
factory wheels on.
Yeah, so instead of lowering it, then just leave it like this. Leave it like this. Factory wheel space it, like with the bigger spacers, whatever. And then when the outer is here or whatever it is.
I can put it together without the car and then just bolt them up. Easy.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, just keep. Now we have the bolts. We have that.
We have everything.
We have everything. And then you order. Do you know where to order that or no?
AG.
Right, but I'm saying you know how to order that, or do I have to order? Okay.
Did Hunter order the last one?
I think you did. That's what I'm asking. Should I ask him to order?
Yeah, just ask Hunter to order the outer barrel.
Ask him to order an outside.
For the front wheel.
What was the other one? That was a rear wheel.
No, it's front wheel inner.
So we got, okay.
Inner was bent. Then when we went to spin it, I pulled the tire off, check it. The outer's got a
Okay.
pump in it. We never pulled it apart.
Right.
Before, we knew the inner was bent because it vibrated like hell.
Right.
It's going to still vibrate.
So now it's still vibrating. I mean,
It
still
will.
okay.
You will not be happy with it.
Okay, it's still running. And that's a front wheel. So tell him front wheel, outer barrel.
Yes, we need one outer now.
Okay. Does he already has the specs probably because
Yeah,
he's ordered
should.
that last one?
They should have the specs. Other than that, looks tits. So
No, I think it looks really good. I mean, I think it
get
came
the
out
wheels
really
on,
good.
get the spacers on.
Yeah.
We'll be out the door.
All right, guys, there you have it. A look at the SF90 as it's in progress. So obviously, as you heard, it's going to need a barrel. So like I said, these were being test fitted to see if they were going to be good or not, so we didn't know. We were really looking at, but what I was talking about earlier in the car, as you can see that what I was looking to do was do a really fat spoke design here instead of a thin one. So I really like the fact that this is almost a split 5, but done this way makes it much stronger. This is actually very similar to the set that's at RBD LA, except that it's got the hollow in between the spokes, which gives it a different look, but it's still a 2122. Looks really, really good. And it has the carbon fiber center caps. So as Rob was suggesting, we'll just swap these to carbon fiber to get a complete stealth look without overdoing it. And it should be a very good blend at that point. So we're gonna wrap it up, guys. Make sure you leave the comments and let me know, do you prefer this set all black here, or do you prefer this factory set right here? Once spacers obviously come on, they'll come out a little bit more and have a completely different look. So let me know which one you think is best. And again, happy holidays, guys, and make sure you turn on notifications, click like, and I'll see you on the next video.